Stephen Walsh, PXO, USS Gonzales. Good morning. I'm here, Commander Walsh, the CEO of USS Gonzales. I'm here to discuss the event we had earlier concerning counter-piracy operation, which involved the rescue of 4 American citizens that were held by pirates. While 2 U.S. citizens were rescued unharmed, unfortunately 1 was injured and 1 was killed. This is likely by the pirates, but we're still under investigation. This has not been confirmed. 3 of the pirates were engaged by U.S. forces and killed. 8 others right now are held on board USS Gonzales as detainees. I'd like to point out that the safety and security of our U.S. citizens is our top priority, and our thoughts and prayers are with those of the deceased and their family. The problem of piracy will continue to be a problem that begins ashore and will be an international problem requiring an international solution. With Coalition Task Force 151, the Counter-Piracy Task Force, USS Gonzales is a part of, we will continue to support that as we operate forward and be ready to respond. With that, I'll take some questions from any of you that may have some. First question.
Sir, Dave Dry from the National News Organization. I understand with the deaths that were involved with this scenario, how do you feel you were prepared? Did your crew receive a specific anti-piracy training for this mission in advance, or was it thrown at you at the last minute?
U.S. Navy forces receive extensive training in doing counter-piracy operation from the very beginning. And as well as when we're part of the Coalition Task Force, we do continue the training and we continue to modify our tactics. As far as the specific circumstances surrounding this event, still under investigation, and you'll likely hear something from Coalition Task Force 151 on the outcome of that. But until then, Gonzales will continue to operate forward and be ready to respond to piracy events.
This Amir mapping from the After Harbor Agreement. Were any of your ship's sailors, any of the boarding forces, and did they fire any of the shots?
The specific circumstances surrounding the event are still under investigation, so I can't comment on that at this time. However, once the investigation is concluded, Coalition Task Force 151 will likely release those results. You can receive them from them. Until then, Gonzales will continue to operate forward and be ready.
John here from Reuters. Can you tell us how the American citizen was killed?
The results of the incident are still under investigation, and we'll continue to work with Coalition Task Force 151 regarding the incident. Until then, our thoughts and prayers remain with those of the families of the deceased, and the results of those investigations will be put out when ready.
So would you say there's any validity to the early reports that he died during a crossfire between your forces and the pirates on board?
I can't comment on the circumstances surrounding the deaths at this time, but as soon as the investigation is complete, we'll have that information released.
So just a follow-up question. I understand the detainees are still on board your ship. How are they being treated, and what's the plan for their disposition?
We're still working with Coalition Task Force 151 on the disposition of the detainees. Obviously, they're being well taken care of on board, fed, medical care as necessary, and then obviously available for questioning as we go through the investigation surrounding the events concerning the death of the American citizen as well as the injury. So we'll continue to work with Coalition Task Force 151 regarding the disposition of the detainees.
I guess as a follow-up question, you said you were working with coalition forces. I noticed that there are many Chinese and Iranian ships that are out there operating with you. How do you feel about operating with your adversaries in this area and combating piracy?
The piracy problem is an international problem requiring international solution. Obviously, those forces that will join us in fighting the piracy problem, I don't consider them adversaries. Regarding the working with other nations, I would refer you to Coalition Task Force 151 as to how they bring in members of the other nations for us. And we'll continue to operate with those forces assigned with us, fight the piracy problem, and we'll be ready.